Hey guys, how are you? Hope everybody's doing well out there. We got just tons of things going on here. What I'm going to go over today is just a little order that I got from a customer that needed a sign for his deck outside the back of his house. He sent me a sketch, just a rough sketch of what he's looking for. 36 inches long, 10 inches high. Now, if you think about that, it's really not in much proportion. 36 inches long, 10 inches high is a way different proportion than the sketch that he drew out. But most customers don't realize that you're going to have any issues with that kind of thing. But I knew that I was going to be able to work it out. So here's what I did. I went ahead and laid it out. I hope you guys can see that. I'm filming this by myself. And the way I went about it is these are 3-inch and 2-inch. These are going to be outset letters, Clarendon font. I came in the same space from the end, leaving room for the palm trees in the corner. And I went ahead and just roughly laid them out there and kind of got an idea of the angle that I wanted. So what I did was I just drew my first line. And then what I did was I took my tape measure and I just measured the same distance here out and then out here toward the end of the line. So I've got basically 4 inches between this line and this line. Again, hoping you can see this. And then once I did that, over here and over here, I knew where this line was going to be, and it allowed these lines to stay parallel. And I knew the square at 45 degree was going to be way too much of an angle. I wasn't going to be able to fit what I wanted. So I think this is somewhere around 25 or 30 degree angle, and I think it's going to look pretty good. So, and I'm going to do something a little bit different on these palm trees too. I used our regular layout template for it, our single palm layout template. This is just part of our flowers and trees set. But then I'm going to modify it a little bit because he really wants his palm tree to be brown and green. And this is to give you an idea. I'm going to try and match those colors up. And then I'm going to do the trunk a little bit different so that it looks a little bit segmented on the trunk. But we'll get into that when I get into the carving aspect of it. So we'll be right back. All right, it is time to get cutting. So I got Vicky back behind the camera helping me out. So I'm just going to get these letters done, then we'll move on to the palm tree after that. I've got my profile bit in my DeWalt. I've got it set at about 1/4 of an inch, something like that. There's plenty of room all the way around these letters. You guys have seen me do this lots before, so I won't show a whole lot of this because I really want to get to the palm tree. Oh, by the way, the customer wanted a big, heavy bevel on this, so I had to build it up from underneath so that my chamfer bit would not hit the pad, but you guys again have seen me do that before. But always want to be careful of that. You can go almost as deep as you want to go, but just make sure that you've got the sign built up from underneath, something to set it on. I just use a pad, or bench cookies work really good for that, and then that will allow you to get past the back surface of the board so you can get that nice deep bevel on there. Anyway, all right, enough talking, let's get after it. Let's see, there's my lights. Here we go. Okay guys, I think that's all I'm going to do on here, and then I'm going to finish the rest of these up off camera. But a couple of things I want to talk about. First of all, you can see that this bit is not, I probably cut now maybe 10 or 15 signs with this, and the bit may be starting to get a little bit dull, and you can see that it kind of burred up and it kind of fuzzed up down in there before I blew it out. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to sharpen it, although I have the availability to sharpen my own bits, but it's cutting just fine. So even though it may throw up a burr at the surface, I get this question quite a bit from brand new people that say because it's throwing up a burr a little bit at that surface, then something must be wrong with the bit. That's not true. The bit is cutting just fine. I'm cutting nice, clean cuts down in there. It's burring up down, it piles up down in there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's cutting hard. That's first thing. Second thing is, you can see that I did leave a little bit of black around several different places. Not every place. Like here, I cut, actually cut the black away. What really matters, here you can see I left a little bit more black there, a little bit of black there. What really matters is that if that black doesn't necessarily have to be all gone. It's just, what matters is it's a nice, consistent cut down there, and it's nice and smooth, nice straight lines. That's what really matters, because once it's sanded off, that black line's going to be gone, and whether it looks that close to the black line or it looks that close to the black line, it's all the same. Nobody's going to even know it. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of go over that, because that's another question that I get once in a while. Why do you leave a little bit of black? Well, I always err to the outside on outset letters so that I can go back and clean those up as much as I need to. Here, I didn't feel like I needed to clean that up any more than I already did, although I could have cut a little bit more of that black away, but it's a nice, clean, straight line. That's all I need to do. Anyway, that's it, guys. I'll finish these up off camera. We'll come back and we'll do the background. All right, folks, I got all of the profiling done on the letters. Now we're going to jump right into the background. So I'm going to use my standard 90-degree bit. Let me put that in front of the camera, because again, I lost my camera person. Vicky had something else going on, another project she's working on, actually for you guys. Anyway, so I've got my 90-degree bit in my Makita router, and I am going to fire that thing up. So on the next scene, we're just going to jump right into it and get this background done. Alright guys, I think you can get an idea of what I'm doing there. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of this up off camera. We'll come back and we'll get into those palm trees. All right, folks, so we have the background is all done now. One thing I wanted to remind you, always after you get done with your background, always take a stiff bristle brush. Woo, that was a good one. Stiff bristle brush and get all that loose stuff out of there. I'll probably do that again before I get ready to spray it, just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so that's that. Now let's get that palm tree carved. I'll just do one on camera, the other one I'll do off camera. All right, cheaters. So, I got my profile bit in, but this is a different profile bit than I had when I did the letters. This is more closer to original size profile bit. The other one that I use has been sharpened a lot, is kind of fat. This one is normal, regular size profile bit, which I think will work for this. And I am set at about, turn this around so you can see. I'm set at about almost 1/8 of an inch. I think that's going to be about right, but I might have to adjust it. I'll let you know if I do. So let me explain what I did there. Let me blow this off first. So you saw that I did most of the carving, or I went around everything the first time at about 1/8 of an inch. Then when I did these, I went back in and kind of redid these segmented lines a little bit. I wanted them to be a little bit straighter than my initial cut. And I went a little bit deeper on them. Then I went around everything again, and the depth on that was must have been about 3/16, I'd say. Oh, a little over 3/16, not quite to 1/4 of an inch. So, and now what I'll do is I'll put my 90, I'll grab my 90, and I'm going to do a big fat line around that with a 90. And the reason I do the profile deeper, to give me a little bit of room so I don't have to get quite as close with the 90, and I won't have any high spots, hopefully. So we'll be right back, and we'll do that big 90 line around there. All right, there's my palm tree. So I guess the point I really wanted to make on this, guys, just because your layout template or your layout is one way doesn't mean you can't add something to it. Like I added the segmented trunk to my standard palm tree. Anyway, I think it looks a little bit better that way. So if you've got one of these layout templates or you're doing a palm tree, you might give that segmented trunk a try. So we'll be right back. Well, guys, guess what? We are at the end of this video. It just is going a little bit longer than I thought it would. I think I got kind of long-winded in going into the details on several different things there, but I think it was informational. I'm hoping it was informational for you. So anyway, that is it. On the next video, we will get this thing all done. So thanks again for watching. We so appreciate it. And if you have any questions, email me, eric@makeawoodsign.com. If you need any supplies, there's the website. If you have any questions for Vicky, it's Vicky with DaveSigns@gmail.com. Thanks again, guys. We love you, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.